Katha Upanishad. Uh, the 14th verse, 1:14. Last time we did kind of look at this verse, and since it has bearings on some of the future verses, I think we will go through it a little more.
What verse are we on?
14.
14? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. प्रते ब्रवीमि तदुमे निबोध स्वर्गम् अग्निं नचिकेत प्रजानन् अनन्तलोकाप्तिमतो प्रतिष्ठाम् विद्धि तमेतं निहितं गुहायाम्. The translation is the 14th verse. O Nachiketa, being well aware of the fire that is conducive to heaven, I shall speak, I shall tell it. That very thing you understand with attention from my words. That fire, which is the means for the attainment of heaven and which is the support of the world, know it to be established in the intellect. Yeah. Now, this is the second boon. The first boon, as we know, that boy, he asked for, may my father's anger towards me be dissipated and may he when he comes. So he had kind of guaranteed his return also. The second boon was Nachiketa was a kind of a very intelligent boy who was trying to ask for something, and he's leading the god of death slowly towards that, to the second boon. Maybe he wanted to catch the god of death unawares, what his real intention is. So the second boon ordinarily will see, how do you go to heaven? Yeah. So, and yeah, and, that is a kind of a goal where everybody would like to be there, go to heaven. And then, but there is a kind of a small twist here that the god of death also caught on Nachiketa's drift of, you can say, questions and his real intentions behind it. So he's giving him the second boon with something additional, kind of a more expanded idea of an heaven, of attainment. Okay. So the first thing he says is, I know of that fire. And I last time I spoken to you about uh, that fire which leads one to heaven. Okay, that was the first god, and that's because human beings, uh, you know, in the early days, people had no electricity. Fire kind of drew them, and they sat around the fire and they told those tales of the past. And these were the old oral traditions that became the hero myths. And it's not only uh, filled mythology, but also the scriptures. So the firstborn was fire, and like I said, the one of the verses in the Vedas is, what happens when a person dies? They asked. He was even, what happened? And yeah, suddenly, and that was the inquiry, was the beginning of religions. What happens? And then, as a kind of an, uh, they went on a tangent, but it was more like an ancestor worship. Yeah, there's a kind of a place where this guy who was here, he is gone there. You don't have to worry. He is not dead forever and ever. Amen. No. He goes to a place where all our ancestors go and live there. And we also will go out there. Don't worry. Fine. And who transports them? Fire. Carry him, O fire, to realm of the fathers. Carry him gently in your arms. Give him a bright body, a shining body. There. This is a praise to the god of fire, because fire was the one who was transporting things. You know, kind of, let's say you have a kind of a fire there, a campfire. People are sitting around it to escape darkness and also the predators lurking in those forests. They are quietly there. So there was, and it kept them warm, kept them away from predators, and gradually they kept on throwing things like fuel. Later on, that metamorphosed into these fire sacrifices, which you find in the Vedas. So kind of a gradual ascension. So fire was there, and those stars out there in the heavens, saying, "Oh, those also might be the campfires of those guys there. Even they would be sitting around their fires and talking about probably us." So there was a fire here, there was a fire there. Later on, they found that these celestials kind of bodies, they keep on moving around, and they deified them, personalized them, and all these things came much later. So fire was a kind of a vehicle, okay. And so that became struck when Vedic sacrifices also were the fire sacrifices. You you pour oblations into that fire, and that oblations, what happens to them? They reach those realms. The oblations here reach those realms through fire. So fire is a means to those higher worlds. And then they found, oh yeah, we have something called mm, the realm of the fathers, but there are some special guys, the realm of the gods. Ah, they give him a kind of a permanence. So this god of death is telling Nachiketa, I know that fire which leads to those worlds. Ah, and that's what Nachiketa has asked for. Yeah. Ordinarily, we all have ideals, and our ideals is to live happily. Yeah, of course, happily. What spoils this happiness? Well, other people. No.
Tell us.
And whatever. But then there are some diseases and death, and then there's grief, and jealousy, and hatred, and all these things that they destroy happiness. I was a happy person, but because of this thing or that guy.
Yeah.
So everyone in every culture, you have people imagining a place where all the negative things will be off and only the positive things will be there. So you'll have various heavens. Oh yes, and somehow we have been stuck with one only, with the guy with the long beard. So there are other heavens, plenty of heavens. So here, uh, it's an ideal for many people. And Nachiketa asks, kind of killing two birds with one stone. He wants to kind of know the nature of that fire, not just the fire as a vehicle. I want to go there, not as a kind of a transport system. I want to know the nature of that fire. What is no like you see anything and you want to study something, and then you want to know what exactly it's made of. What's the nature? So here he talks about That very thing you understand with attention. Now he's trying to bring his kind of attention. Don't let it scatter. I'm going to tell you something that's important. Here he says that fire, which is the means for the attainment of heaven and which is the support of the world. Yeah, that is what Nachiketa wanted to know. Of all the worlds, yes, of all the worlds. What is the support of this world? And now he knows that this support also transports me there. If I know this place here, this nature of this fire, where can I, how can I get it? Now, when you speak about, yeah, you see, I like yesterday you had a birthday party, a kind of big birthday party, and you're saying, yeah, it's a birthday party, it's a birthday party. But when you ask whose birthday it was, then you know, oh, okay, fine, fine, fine. Now we can understand the birthday party, what it means. Hmm. So it's just that you need to locate that thing in a particular place. So what's the nature of that fire as a carrier? Where is it? First is saying it is the support of this universe. My God, this whole universe, yes. But where is this? He says, know it to be established in the intellect of the enlightened ones. Why enlightened ones? Not the ordinary people do not know this support, the nature of this support, the nature of this fire. And there's another meaning to that fire. When you say, oh, this fire is located in the intellect of enlightened people, these people know, and we do not know yet. That's the reason why there's a distinction between persons who know and persons who do not know. That's why. It's nothing it's not in us, it's only in them, nothing like that. To make that distinction, they know the nature of that fire, which is the support of this universe. Not only this universe. Generally, we think of this universe is the only universe we know. Why we see it? Well, there are many universes. Universe within a universe within a universe within a universe. The world of living beings is, but we have, this is the kind of a bad time for the universe in a way that humans are exterminating, is the killing of species like mad. Yeah, it's one of those periods of great extinctions. So uh, we've got to be very, very careful. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. So they know it. We do not know it. Knowing in the sense, it is. I'm not. We are not talking about secondary knowledge. Now you know. Now we know it on a kind of a indirect way. When you know it in directly, yes, I know it. That is enlightenment. Light, light. So that intellect is. Where is that intellect? Well, it is everyone is there inside everyone. It's kind of hidden. Well, intelligence is what is displayed in this universe. That's the first thing that when you meet a person or you can interact with the person or you know the person, what's the first index that you judge the person? To that person's intellect. Not what that person looks like, where's it come from, all that. It's that. Why? Because this is the display of intelligence. This whole universe is a kind of a display of intelligence.